Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your 2020 yearly ASMR forecast. I'm really glad that you joined me today for this reading. These yearly readings are kind of tough. Not just because they're longer than the normal monthly readings, but also because emotionally it's a roller coaster to go through 12 months in the span of one video. And so you tend to get a lot of information all at once. And of course, the cards are going to hit the highlights. So they're going to hit your boyfriend breaks up with you. They're going to hit, oh, look, you're not doing so great with money in, whatever month, and stuff like that. So the only thing that I can tell you is, as far as ASMR videos are concerned, this one won't be terribly soothing. But as far as yearly readings are concerned, I will try to deliver the information that I'm receiving in the most stress-free and soothing way possible. Alright, so first I will be using Daniel Martin Diaz's Enigma deck, which is in the style of a Lotteria deck. And I deal out 12 of these cards, and they're all upright. I don't read inversions in this deck, but you could if you have this deck. I don't see any reason why you couldn't, just like any other Lenormand has inversions. But I feel like in order to keep the messages clear, because of how I'm doing these readings, it's better not to have inversions in every single deck that you use. So let's get to it, Mr. Pruitt. The rest of them away for later. Wouldn't want to spoil your appetite. And then of course the Muka deck again from the January videos, which are also up on this channel. It smells like binding. It smells like book binding. The way that glue smells kind of sour. So here we go. I've known a lot of Scorpios in my life. I tend to attract fixed signs like Scorpios, Aquarius, Taurus. I've known like a few other Leos, but not very many. Interesting. Yeah. An order reversal there. Cards sticking together. Right, and I'll put these away. No, you know what? These ones? These ones. Okay. I am going to go ahead and deal out right about there. All right. Deal out 3 cards for the end. The end of days. The end of 2020. The end of this year. Who knows? January. We have the obelisk. And the obelisk is a tall monument, usually to some form of deity, as a representation of your connection to that deity in physical form. But it's man-made. But you can see the moon going up, the moon coming down. Perhaps that's an obelisk to a moon god. We have a choice. We have an ending, and we have you feeling like you are not able to manifest the result that you desire. So we have, of course, the 2 of Swords here, and she's blindfolded. But the most important thing here is the choice and the ending, and I think that really you're just going to get caught in the middle just like this and feel like you're at the mercy of it. We have the dragonfly. The dragonfly is the bearer of a human soul. Sometimes. We've got the Hierophant. So this is all about dogma, morals, society's rules, not like order versus chaos. We have the Lovers reversed, and we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this could be this could be another water sign, or this Knight of Cups could represent you. And because the Lovers are reversed, but we do have the Hierophant here. Hierophant upright can be a marriage card. I think it's possible that someone's proposing marriage to you, but you don't feel like you're ready for that. Here we have March. We have the wing, and we have these hexagons that show up in a couple different cards. But the wing is all about freedoms. freedom of mobility. We have the Seven of Swords inverse. If you have been stabbing people in the back, or talking about people behind their backs, or trying to, through subterfuge, disarm other people, that's going to come to an end. We've got the Six of Pentacles, and that's also in the reverse, so you could be receiving charity from someone, but this could also be that you're being very tight with money in March. And then we have the Nine of Wands, where you feel like you are always having to defend yourself. And these things are definitely, in that case, linked, because if you always feel like you have to defend yourself, I think sometimes people then have a tendency to manipulate others in an attempt to prevent that from happening. April, we have the Skull. Now, Scorpio governs the 8th house, which is death, taxes, death, sex, death, sex, and taxes. Other people's money, basically. We do have the moon down here. We do have the idea of connecting to your higher power through your own mortality. We have the flame in the eyes. That's the soul in the eyes. I very much enjoy skull iconography, so for me, seeing the skull is a comforting reminder of death. But if you are afraid of dying or afraid of death, or if you're sensitive, you could get a lot of visitations in April. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. Kind of like feeling like a creative slump, feeling impotent. We have the Four of Cups, feeling like there's nothing out there that you really want. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is like money's just not coming in right now. Money's just not coming in yet. But you've had a very good year this year, prosperity-wise, in 2019, according to the readings. So I wouldn't be too worried about that if you have been putting money away. Should be fine. May. Death. We've got a major change, but this is also your card, because you are Scorpio, death, sex, and other people's money. We have this Queen of Cups in the reverse, and this King of Cups in the upright. So this kind of situation back here in February, where you were feeling kind of unsure, I feel like this is kind of a continuation of that situation. There's going to be more treachery. The moon is kind of a Scorpio card, but it's mostly a Cancer card. But these are all things that are hidden and not clear, and that's why it's the moon and why it's in reverse. So there will be very much a drastic change in the month of May regarding that particular situation. Now we have June, and we have the energy of fire. So let's find out. I see Three of Wands, which is you surveying. Again, kind of a continuation of this energy. The Four of Cups back here, you didn't really see anything you wanted, but here in June, you're continuing that search. Five of Wands, we have maybe you thinking about the always having to defend yourself, right? So that's a feeling that comes up for you. It's feeling like you have to defend yourself, and therefore this is coming up again, but it's in the reverse. So maybe whatever happened here in March, you're thinking about it now in June as you're planning your future. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This could be an earth sign. And this fire could be referring to if you have fire in your chart in a prominent placement. But it could also be talking about this fire of creativity that maybe you are kind of wrestling with in the first half of 2020. So yeah, we have this Knight of Pentacles reversed. This could be about the money situation. It could be an earth sign. We have, all right, so here in July, we have the Tooth, which is all about paying attention to detail, because your oral hygiene actually contributes greatly to your overall health, or can be detrimental to your overall health. So it's all about attention to detail. We have the Chariot, which is about victory. There is a certain amount of duality here. It could be in the upright. It's usually not about sacrifice, though. But you do have this idea of winning and loss on the card of the Chariot. We have the King of Swords. This could be an air sign. Somebody who's a good speaker, who's a good communicator. And we have the Ace of Cups. So this could be a triumphant new relationship for you, as long as you're paying attention to the little details that contribute to your overall health. What do we have here? All right, so into moon cycles. I'm going to pull out my kunzite now. No particular reason. I just like it a lot. So we're talking about the waxing crescent here in August. We've got a Knight of Wands riding into the situation. This could be a fire sign who has a quick temper, or who is okay. So we have the Knight of Wands, and we also have the Queen of Wands. So, August is Leo birth month. I don't know. I would just be careful around any Leos for sure. Especially, God, we got like a lot of Leo energy, and it's all reversed in this month. If you have Leo in your chart, especially like moon cycle, you've got, as you're coming into the full moon, be very aware of your own Leo tendencies as it relates to your Leo moon or Leo rising, specifically Leo moon. But then for any of you who don't have Leo specifically in your chart in a certain area, I would just be very wary of the Leos in your life. I know, speaking from experience, that like sometimes the relationships and friendships between Leos and Scorpios can be a little complicated. So just be mindful of that in August. Don't poke the lion. See here in September, knowledge. I call that growth. We do have, an arrow through the book, because knowledge is a very powerful weapon. Pen is mightier than the sword, right? We have the Fool moving into the last part of your year with this very naive, blindly going forward energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and it's reversed. So this could be not having a good hold on your finances, or it could mean that you do have money coming in soon, but it's not here yet. And then we also have the Hermit, which is a Virgo card if you have Virgo in your chart. But it's also about keeping your secrets, building your knowledge, and being guided by your higher purpose. So the Fool and the Hermit are a very interesting duo to have here together. Hermit being a Virgo card in September, it looks like you are experiencing a lot of true horoscope energy. It's very interesting to me. Very interesting reading so far. October. I know some of you are late October birthdays. We've got love. We've got a little fire symbol inside this heart. And then we have two nervous systems trying to communicate with a sword separating them. Somebody is holding on very tightly to their resources here. The Four of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is all about financial freedom. And you see this woman here and this hawk, especially up in the corner, and actually on like the World card and in the form of the Tetramorph, Scorpio is represented as an eagle and not as a scorpion. So you could say that this might be you up here having the financial freedom. And we also have here this Page of Cups, and it's reversed. So maybe you would like very much, maybe love is on your mind, but you're not getting any offers. Which is entirely possible. But it could also be how we had this very complicated energy in the earlier part of the year. In June, we had some very complicated water energy. So this could be a return of that person into your life. And so that would involve your love life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to take that person back. That's up to you, though. You can do whatever you want. November. Happy birthday. The Omen. So we have, of course, a crow here, and these three little drops of blood. In that movie, The Omen, the 666 birthmark that Damien had was in a similar formation. We have the Sun, so that's good. We're coming into your birth month with a strong, good omen. I know whenever crows show up, I know that I need to be very careful in that space. When I tried to camp in the Everglades, a huge, like almost raven-sized bird landed on the hood of my car and was like talking to me a lot. And sure enough, we got rained out of our tent. We literally had to sleep in the car because the tent was just completely collapsed by torrential rains. And then, of course, when I went to camp at Chaco Canyon, that place was absolutely covered with crows, and not very much other wildlife. I say covered, but we saw like probably 5 crows while we were there. And then like one other very small bird, and it was a very eerie place. But yeah, so listen to the omens. But I do see some really good energy here for your birthday. We've got this Knight of Swords, somebody who's quick to words. And then we have a Three of Cups, which is sometimes a 3-party situation, but sometimes it means that you have some tight friendships in your life that are starting to come a little bit unglued. And so you might need to pay attention to that. This Knight of Swords could be an air sign. It could be somebody, it's like a silver tongue kind of a person, but they're upright. So it's not that they mean you ill, but maybe you guys just are not really getting along anymore. But that's fine, because you're going to have a great birthday month regardless. And then the end of the year, we've got Duality. It's a very interesting card. He's got a little Mobius strip for a heart, and you can see he's vibrating in 2 places at once. If you've looked into any of the Monroe Institute works, Robert Monroe's writings, when he first describes out-of-body experience, that reminds me very much of this card. We've got the Tower. Oh, good. Save the big changes for the very end of the year, right? All right, so we've got this big change at the end of the year, and we have the Emperor reversed, somebody edging into totalitarian thinking, being very authoritarian, and the Ten of Wands. So someone is being too authoritarian, and you are not going to put up with that anymore. You're going to put that bundle of sticks down, and it is going to cause this disruption, which is probably for the best, but who am I to say? I don't know your life. This is a general reading. We have the Ace of Swords. Cutting things out of your life, changing a lot of things. We had a Death card come out here, and we had the Tower come out here. I don't remember seeing the Tarot Death card, but that's okay. It doesn't have to always come out, even though it is your card. No offense. We've got the King of Pentacles. So I do think that, overall, this is going to be another good, prosperous year for you, Scorpio. But, I mean, you are in charge of other people's money, so, of course. And then the last card we have is the Queen of Swords. Now, this could be this sword energy from your birthday month. It could also be it could be you embodying somebody who's a little more tight-lipped, a little more someone who's able to communicate and chooses not to. Is kind of like Queen of Swords energy. It can be kind of ruthless energy, and Queen of Swords can be a Scorpio energy as well, although swords really are air energy. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe being a little more tight-lipped, I think, probably more than anything else. Now, maybe being a little ruthless. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck, but they're not oracular cards. They're not fortune-telling cards. This is not a fortune-telling deck. This is a meditation deck. This is soul medicine. It's the 72 names of God. And these are like keys to spiritual wisdom. They are names that you can resonate to better attune to the vibrations of the universe. And each one is a different theme. So I'm going to pull 3 from this deck. And those will be your 3 meditations to keep in mind throughout the year 2020. All right. Great expectations. Aleph Yod Ayin. By meditating on this name, I gain control over the power of time in my life. Instead of constantly demanding more of tomorrow, I appreciate what I have and what I am right now. False and self-seeking expectations are cast out. I don't know what you did to me in my birthday month of August, but I almost don't even want to give you these tools. But I'm going to. Global transformation. Ayin Shin Lamed. I reflect upon the spiritual truth that world peace begins with peace in my own heart. With this name, I speed my own transformation and strengthen the forces of peace throughout the world. Oh, this one's good. Revealing the concealed. You can see that picture of the iceberg on there. Mem Yud Kaf. I gather the ability to bring forth the powers of observation to see the truth and the courage to handle it. Thank you for joining me, Scorpio. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. And I'll try not to take this too personally. I just read the cards. I'm just the messenger. But, you know, just be careful out there. For everyone's sake. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate all of my subscribers' support. I do have a Patreon. There's a link in the description. And I can be retained for personal readings. And that information is also in the description. I can do an ASMR reading for you over Skype, but it doesn't have to be an ASMR reading either. I can do just straight up tell you how it is. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a happy new year. The January readings are already posted, so you can check that out too if you like. And I'll see you next year for the February readings.